Okay, hello teachers. Welcome back to another week of Classroom Management by Design for the Primary Teacher. I am Lauren Zabine. I am the founder of LessonPlanToolbox.com, where we help primary teachers master classroom management every single day. Super excited for what we have coming up, and I'll share more about that at the end of this post. This post is one of my passions as of late. I love telling you all about the mind and how the mind can influence classroom behavior. Today, we're going to get into why incorporating movement into the school day can improve your classroom management. We all know we need to move more. And now we're going to cover how this can be done during the school day, right? As teachers, we've all been there. We try to get our students to sit still, pay attention, and engage during lessons. It can feel like an uphill battle, especially with those younger students who seem to just have so much energy, right? But what if the key to classroom management, improvement, and student behavior wasn't about getting our students to sit still, but actually encouraging them to move more? Research and experience show that incorporating movement throughout the school day, it's not just beneficial for students' health, it's a game changer for just those behavior, for focus, and for learning. Movement helps to regulate emotions, it helps to improve cognitive function, and even foster that stronger teacher-student relationship. So this week, we're going to talk about why movement should be an essential part of your classroom management strategy each and every day, okay? Let's jump into why movement matters. When children move, their brains release powerful chemicals like endorphins and dopamine. These are neurotransmitters, and they play a significant role in regulation and focus, mood regulation and focus. So according to Dr. John Ratey, he's the author of Spark, the Revolutionary New Science of Exercise and the Brain. Movement acts like a reset button for the brain, allowing students to just refocus and regulate their emotions is so important. It's critical, in fact. More specifically, physical activity increases the blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients, which will enhance cognitive functions like memory, attention, and problem-solving skills. You know that this is critical for behavior management because when students are better able to process information and to self-regulate, then the disruptions will decrease in your classroom. Okay. Behavioral challenges often stem from unmet sensory or emotional needs, right? Movement can address these underlying issues in surprising ways. The first way we're going to talk about is sensory integration. Many behavioral outbursts occur because students struggle with sensory overload or they're understimulated. The movement helps regulate their sensory systems, allowing them to feel more grounded and focused. Activities like balancing, spinning, or even just simple stretching can stimulate the nervous system, which plays the critical role in attention and emotional regulations. Okay, that's the first way. Here's the second way. It's going to help decrease anxiety. Children, especially those with high levels of stress or anxiety, will benefit from the endorphins released during the movement break. According to the Journal of Pediatrics, even short bouts of physical activity can significantly reduce cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone, making it easier for students to manage their emotions. How cool is that? The third area we're going to look at is that improved impulse control. So the movement, it helps students develop better executive functioning skills, including self-regulation and impulse control. A study from the University of Illinois found that physically active students were less likely to engage in disruptive behaviors because they could better manage their impulses. So now we're focusing on just emotions, on our impulses. It's not just the movement for the physical break. The next benefit is, excuse me, when students are struggling academically, frustration can often translate into disruptive behavior. You know this. Incorporating movement can directly address this by boosting those cognitive function and engagement. It's a memory boost. Movement stimulates the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that supports memory and learning. Activities like jumping while reciting multiplication tables or using hand movements to spell words can make lessons stick better. You're also going to find an improved focus, right? A Harvard Medical School study found that students who participated in regular movement breaks were 31% more focused during academic tasks than those who remained sedentary. Focused students are less likely to act out or distract their peers while they're working. Again, common sense, you know this, but we don't do this enough. The next area we want to look at is that higher engagement, right? So movement creates just this dynamic and interactive learning environment, keeping students engaged in the lesson. When students are actively participating, they are less likely to exhibit off-task behaviors, which is so often where behavior problems come from. There's also plenty of health benefits that are going to impact behavior. It's no secret that movement is good for physical health, but what teachers might not realize is how closely health and behavior are tied together. So let's look first at energy regulation. Movement helps burn off excess energy in hyperactive students while boosting alertness in those who are sluggish. So this balance prevents extreme behaviors. The second area we're going to look at, better sleep. Physical activity promotes better sleep quality, which directly impacts behavior. A well-rested student is far less likely to have emotional outbursts or struggle with focus. Another benefit is posture and stamina. Core strength developed through movement improves posture and stamina, which allows students to sit comfortably and stay attentive for longer periods. So often our students do not have that strong core, and we just take it for granted that they do. So now let's switch gears and talk about movement and social emotional skills, okay? Incorporating movement into the school day is also going to foster those critical social emotional skills that we talk about all the time. How? Well, let's look at teamwork and cooperation. Group movement activities like relay races or cooperative games, or these are going to teach students how to work together and resolve conflicts, which is going to reduce those peer-related disruptions that so often come during recess. Another benefit is the emotional regulation, right? So activities like yoga or mindful stretchings are going to teach students to connect with their bodies and manage stress. This can be especially effective for children with behavioral changes stemming from trauma or anxiety. So keep that in mind too. Another physical aspect that we want to look at is boosting confidence. Achieving physical milestones such as learning a new dance move or mastering a balancing act is going to build self-esteem. Confident students are less likely to engage in attention-seeking behaviors. Know that, okay? So now let's give you know the why. Let's just give you some quick practical ways to incorporate movement in your classroom. You understand the benefits, how we can integrate movement into the school day without disrupting. But how can we integrate movement into the school day without disrupting our lessons, right? So here are some quick ideas. I always tell you, take these as just suggestions. See what sets right for you. Use it. If it doesn't set right, keep scrolling. First and foremost, brain breaks. You schedule 3 to 5 minute movement breaks every 20 or 30 minutes. Use activities like jumping jacks, freeze dance, or stretching to get students' blood flowing. And I'm actually going to talk about this more at the end of the clip because of where we're headed here at Lesson Plan Toolbox with our big launch coming up. The second thing you can do are active transitions, right? So you turn hallway transitions into opportunities for movement. If you can have students march or skip or hop to their next location instead of walking quietly, they're going to get those wiggles out, okay? The third area you want to consider is movement-based learning. You can use hand claps, stomps, or gestures to teach phonics and sight words. You can create math fact relay races where students solve problems at different stations. You can have students act out story scenes during their reading lessons or with our student behavior scenario of the day cards that you get inside our membership. You can, our fourth area you want to consider is flexible seating, right? Provide options like those wobble stools, a standing desk, or yoga balls, just to allow students to move while they're staying engaged in a lesson. A fifth one, this one might be tricky this time of year, especially in the northern states, but outdoor learning. Take your lessons outside when possible. You can do activities like nature walks to teach science or spark creative writing ideas while giving students a chance to move, and they will love it, and they will remember you for teaching in this manner, okay? The next thing you want to consider is incorporating technology. You can use apps like the one I'm going to talk about at the end, which is our Movement to Mastery app for those short interactive movement sessions. And I'm going to explain how they're different than GoNoodle or things like that, okay? Okay, so let's talk about now research-backed results. Numerous studies support the idea that movement improves behavior and classroom management. A 2018 study in the Journal of Educational Psychology found that students who engaged in 20 minutes of physical activity before school had a 25% reduction in behavioral incidents throughout the day. Might be something to talk to moms and dads about if you have students who, have tricky behavior. Research from the American Academy of Pediatrics shows us that incorporating movement breaks reduced teacher stress by 20% due to fewer disruptions and improved student focus. Overcoming barriers to movement, okay? Some teachers, they worry movement will lead to chaos or take time away from academics. However, structured movement activities often prevent chaos by addressing students' physical and emotional needs, making them more receptive to learning. And the time spent on movement is gained back because you're having fewer disruptions and smoother lessons. So it's 2 or 3 minutes here, 2 or 3 minutes there, but your lesson is going to go so much smoother, okay? If you're unsure where to start, begin small, okay? Begin super small. Add a single movement break into your day, or try incorporating gestures into your teaching. Observe how it impacts behavior and learning and build from there. Don't just jump in full force if you've never done this before, if you're not comfortable, okay? Movement is a classroom management power tool. Incorporating movement into the school day isn't just a nice to have, it's a must for effective classroom management and for fostering positive student behavior. From improving focus and memory to reducing anxiety and fostering that teamwork, the benefits of movement are undeniable. By making movement a regular part of your teaching strategy, you're not only helping your students succeed academically, but you're also creating more harmonious and engaging classroom environments for all of your students, okay? So get moving, watch your classroom transform before your eyes. Wow, that was a lot of information to share with you, but I'm so happy to share it with you because this has literally become my new passion, is bringing movement into the classroom. We are on a mission to get teachers, primary teachers especially, to incorporate movement to lead to classroom management mastery. So we have created an app that We're going to be piloting this year with just a select few teachers. And if you are interested in getting on that list, please let me know. We are happy to add you. I'm only going to be taking about 20 teachers. So if this movement to mastery sparks your interest at all, let me know so I can get you on that list. What will happen is we are starting with a 5-day challenge just to spark interest and show you what it's all about. And it's all free, the 5-day challenge. From there, if you are interested and you still want to proceed with being one of my 20 select teachers that are going to be implementing movement into the classroom strategically, then you will get onto the app and receive not only movement ideas, but we also will be supporting you in your classroom management strategy. So you will have access to me pretty much unlimited for the next 6 weeks, where we will work through movement areas where, Lauren, this worked, this didn't work. And you'll also be feeding me any classroom management issues or student behavior issues that you feel need addressed. And we will combine the two together and do a movement to mastery so we can have just the best primary students that we have dreamed of. I'm telling you, this is classroom management like you've never seen before, because you are going to have fun learning this and your students are going to have fun implementing this. So I would love for you to be in our free 5-day course. Even if you just want to do the free stuff, see what it's about, you are going to get so many nuggets to take away and you're going to have a great time. I promise you that. It is going to be fun. We are running this, January 27th to January 31st. I will be going live on Instagram, so the recordings will be there. And from there, if you are on my email list, it will be emailed to you, so you will always have access to it. I will send the recording to you. You don't have to be on live with me. I will send the recording to you. And basically, it's going to be, you're going to get a new movement strategy each day that you can incorporate with your students. And then we'll talk about the why this is important and how you can implement this in your classroom on a regular basis. If you do the math, if you take 2 to 3 minute movement breaks, I do think 20 to 30 minutes is aggressive, but with our little ones, we know their attention spans are like 0. So it might be like a really good routine. And when I show you how this is set up, it's not a Go Noodle. I love the Go Noodles. This is so different. You're going to be leading it as the teacher. When your students are comfortable with this, then you start picking a student leader to do this. But you are going to lead them in their movement break, which means we're not taking that time to get the Go Noodle, log in, get it up on the board, have them. You're going to stand in the front of the room. Boys and girls, push your chairs in. We're going to use the space we have, 2 to 3 minutes. Wait till I show you what I have up my sleeve. It is going to be magical. So be on the lookout for that. Definitely, the registration is already linked in the blog post. I will link it here in this YouTube video too, in the show notes, so you have it here. But get in touch with me if you are at all interested. I'm only taking 20 teachers who are going to be working closely with me for 6 weeks on implementing this in their classroom, and I cannot wait to get started. You heard the benefits. You heard why this is so important. Literally cannot wait to get this in the hands of as many teachers as possible. And I love that it's in an app format. This was like my goal, which is going to get better and better, but we're starting small. It's going to be in an app format. So that way, when you need classroom management help, it's literally in an app on your phone at your fingertips. You don't have to log into anything. You just hit your little app button, tell us what you need, tell us what's happening in your classroom. Boom, we will help you with your strategies. So that's where we're at. That's where we're headed. So happy to be doing this, and cannot wait to keep sharing. The next 2 weeks the posts are going to also be fitting along with this movement series, just because there is so much information that I just think we take for granted and we don't share enough with our teachers about movement, mindset, and how it all comes together for classroom management mastery, basically. So Movement to Mastery is the name of the challenge. Check it out. We'd love to see you. And until next week, We'll talk to you soon.